Hey guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. And Poopy's not going anywhere, and the blue nail polish isn't going anywhere. That looked bad. And I got some new friends back there. And I got the crown, baby. I got the crown. Crooked crown. Crooked crown, crooked crown. Here, Billy, homophobe. He's gay all day. He's gay all day. You guys, I've written a whole song. If you think that I am lying, I am crying, and I'm not crying. I've written a whole song called Hillbilly Homophobe, and I cannot wait to release it. I'm serious. Serious. The lyrics are written. I've got a song. I don't play guitar, but I'm ready for somebody to come in and be my band, because, you have to have a backup band if you're a country singer. You don't just do little stupid tracks on iTunes and all that kind of stuff. You have to have a full band. I need a full band. I'm ready. But anyway, this is not about all that today, okay? This is not about the fact that I'm going to the Cover Bridge Festival with my best Judy Tanya on Monday. I cannot wait. I've wanted to go since I was in the 4th grade when we went on a field trip with Mrs. Hop and I bought rock candy. I cannot wait to go on Monday. I'm so excited. This is not about the fact that I've been sick for 3 days. You guys have sent the nicest messages in the entire world. This is not about the fact that I need some beauty supply products underneath my eyes. Anyway, I do think that I want to get invited to all these beauty conferences on YouTube, though, so I do think I'm going to start doing a beauty video once a week, where I talk about, like, men's beard oil products and all kinds of fashion and stuff, because I'm, like, into all that. And it'd be real funny, though. But anyway, let's talk about beauty pageants, okay? And you guys are probably like, I have a feeling that he cannot stand beauty pageants, because he just seems like the kind of guy that, are you kidding me? Do you know me? Listen, I love a beauty pageant. I love them all day long, okay? I like to see myself a little bit as an expert at beauty pageants at this point in my life, and I'm going to explain to you how I got there. So, when I was a little kid, my mother, she and I would sit around and Miss America, Miss USA, Miss Universe, whatever the pageant was on TV, we would watch it, and this is what we would do. We would write down all the, when they come out, then we would write down all the contestants. I mean, all of them, like Mrs., let's see, what's Miss Arizona, your Miss California. Miss California's always do very well. Miss Mississippi's always do very well. Miss Kentucky's, they rarely do very well. Miss Indiana's never plays top 10, hardly ever, except for Katie Stam, who won Miss America. She's from Seymour, Indiana. I know her. She's a friend of mine. Let me just tell you, Indiana, we don't do very well in pageants. I don't know why. We have some gorgeous cornbread girls from Indiana, but they just don't do very well. In Miss America, in Miss USA, it's a different story. Now, do you guys know the difference between that? I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this if you guys are, it depends on, okay, so what you guys don't know is, so I grew up and my mother and I would write down all the names on a piece of paper, right? And then as they came out, we'd rate them. We were basically judges in our own house, eating popcorn and drinking Kool-Aid. I loved it, okay? And that's what I used to do. And so when pageants would come on, my mother and I, we would die. We were so excited to watch pageants. So I grew up loving beauty pageants. And, of course, I couldn't be in one. I mean, because there aren't men in beauty pageants, typically. Now, today, in, like, those toddlers or theaters and the glitz pageants, all that kind of stuff, there's little boys in them. But there's always just, like, one little boy, and he, like, sweeps. He just takes everything, right? So, anyway, when I was younger, that's what we would do. And my mom even would get me all the paper dolls. And I have them somewhere in a box down in the basement. And that's why I found this stupid crown. I just in the basement found, or I was looking for them. There's a box there. I have no clue where it is. I'm like totally like, there is a box in the basement somewhere that has all of my paper dolls in it. Why she would keep that, I don't know, but I'm so happy that she did. But it has all of the Miss Americas in there. It even has Vanessa Williams, and I don't know where that is. And it is kind of strange to me, because didn't Vanessa Williams win Miss America when I was way too old to be wanting to play with paper dolls? But needless to say, I still have it, so I don't really care. But anyway, they're all in the basement. I can't find them, but I did find my crown. So flash forward to my husband Alex and I meeting, okay? I'm just telling some people. I don't really give a shit if they like it or not. So anyway, we were at Cheesecake Factory like a couple months after we started dating, right? And this girl is like waiting on us, and she like comes to our table, and I'm like, I was like, she's cute, and Alex is like, she's gorgeous, and I'm like, she's okay. I mean, she's pretty girl, but she's not all that. I mean, you guys know me now from my channel, right? So anyway, so this other guy comes, and I looked at her and I said, you hate your job, don't you? And she goes, I can't stand it. Like, this is her waiting table at Cheesecake Factory, right? So this other guy comes and he brings out the rest of her food and he's like, is your waitress okay? She's kind of not, we used to go to Cheesecake Factory all the time. He's like, she's not really into her job a whole lot. And I go, oh, that's okay. And he goes, you know, she's Miss Indiana USA, isn't she? And I said, excuse me? And he goes, she's Miss Indiana USA. This is my friend Brittany. So anyway, so this guy goes away and Alex goes, I start like looking for her everywhere, right? And he goes, what? I go, she's gorgeous. He goes, oh, now that she's Miss Indiana USA, you think she's gorgeous, right? I'm like, well, she is. I mean, I love a good pageant queen all day long. So anyway, oh my, got some of that in my face. But anyway, so she comes back and we start talking and we became instant friends, okay? Brittany and I became instant friends. Brittany and I, she married my husband and I, okay? I think that Brittany might be the first ever model pageant winner to marry a gay couple ever in the world. I'm just going to put that out there. Anyway, Brittany Mason, love her all day long. So anyway, from there, we started like getting introduced to a lot of pageant people because everywhere we would go, Brittany knew people. She knew all these pageant girls, right? We met the girl that was her Miss Teen. We met the girl that won Miss Indiana. Okay, so then the following year, she passed the baton to Courtney Hall. And Courtney is a dear, dear friend of ours as well. And she came to our wedding and we love her so much. And Courtney has like been one of our very dearest friends. And so anyway, we started becoming friends with all of these like pageant girls in Indiana, right? And Brittany placed like 6th at Miss USA. I don't think that Courtney did, but I'm not sure. So anyway, Courtney also competed did they both compete in Indiana, America? I don't know. But anyway, so this is the part that's going to get me in some trouble. So if you guys know the difference between America and the USA systems in the United States, do you know what it is? Okay, so the Miss America pageant system is the girl next door. The Miss USA pageant system is the girl you wish lived next door. Just saying, okay? So anyway, but I've had friends on both sides, and I love both sides. And in fact, one of the things that Alex and I get to do every year is that we get to go and help mock interview all of the Miss Indiana America contestant that's going to Miss America. And so we get to sit in a room with these other people and we get to like throw questions at her and you can throw anything at her because she's got to be completely prepared. And I will say this, the difference between the Miss Americas and Miss USA, the Miss America girls are a little sharper. They got a little bit more on the ball. Miss USA's just know how to look good in a bathing suit. I'm just saying. You come for me if you want. I love pageants all day long. I love these girls, whatever, but I'm just saying. So anyway, so we get to do that, and then Alex and I through the years have been asked to kind of like help judge some pageants at the last minute. There was one that he got through a client of his that we got to go judge his pageant over a weekend. It was a lot of fun. But let me just tell you, was this 2 years ago? This was 2 years ago in the summer. It was my 25th high school reunion. Am I that old? Seriously? Yeah, it was my 25th, 18. No, I'm not that old, is it? It was my 25th high school reunion. So anyway, 20th or 25th, it doesn't matter. I don't really care. I didn't go, and I'll tell you why I didn't go. So anyway, I was so excited. I had my friends all excited, and we were all getting ready to go, and we were all trying to diet and look really good and all this kind of stuff. 2 days before the pageant, my friend Courtney called me, and she goes, okay, so here's another little thing you don't know. I have grown up, and I've talked about JonBenet Ramsey on here quite a bit, but I've never talked about why I'm obsessed with her. So back in the day, there was this documentary, I think it was on Investigative Reports on A&E called Living Dolls. It's either that or on HBO. You can still look it up on YouTube. I watched the whole thing a couple months ago. It's like in 15 or 10-minute segments. But anyway, and JonBenet Ramsey's part of that. Totally fell in love with that. And then there's another one, and I can't remember what it's called, but it shows like the people behind the pageant systems. It shows like the moms getting ready. And my ex and I would always laugh because we would like sit there and get fountain cokes and go to Walmart. And these women in the show would be like, well, we have to go and get pantyhose and nails still. We got to get them all ready. And they'd be up till, I fell in love with this whole world of these little like baby beauty pageants. Not baby is like 8 months old, but there are some of those. But I'm talking about like beauty pageants for like 2 and 3 year olds. And listen, come for me all you want. I have personal experience. So I'm about to tell you all about it. So anyway, my friend Courtney was even in that one with JonBenet Ramsey, I think. And that Leslie girl that was gorgeous. And I don't know what happened to her, and her dads were the ones that like trained. Oh no, I'll tell you what happened. Oh my God. So if you guys watch this documentary, did you guys just see me lose my shit? You'll know what I'm talking about. Swan Bruner is in that movie, okay? Well, what happened at the end of that movie was she's a little girl that's gorgeous. JonBenet Ramsey's not in that movie. This Living Dolls one. She's a little girl that's like gorgeous, and she goes and gets trained by these 2 gay guys, and her mom is like kind of real white trash. But anyway, this Swan Bruner girl in there, you become like obsessed with her because she doesn't care really about pageants, but she's gorgeous and she's just a fun little kid. Well, you find out after the movie that her mom dies, And then I started doing some investigating of my own. And I found out that like her dad had died. And so she ended up and she went and lived somewhere nobody knows where she's at. Well, all these people were like stalking her and wanting to find her. And so there's like one picture of her getting off on an airplane and she's like this, looking back. That's it on the internet. Nobody knows where Swan Bruner is to this day. I think I found her Facebook page like 5 years ago because I'm weird like that and I look up people. So I was like, I wonder what ever happened to that Swan Bruner. But if you watch that movie or you know what I'm talking about, you know who Swan Bruner is, go watch that movie. It will make you obsessed with this Swan Bruner girl. I want to know where she's at. I did ask Courtney not too long ago. I said, do you never talk to that Leslie girl? She goes, I talk to her every once in a while. She goes, her dads, because she had 2 gay dads. She was like, they broke up and whatever. And I said, oh, that's so sad. I really liked them in that movie. But, okay, so anyway. So I'm all ready. I've got my outfit all picked out for the 25th high school reunion, 20 or 25, I don't know. But anyway, I'm excited about it, right? Courtney calls me 2 days before. She says, Peter, she goes, I know it has always been your dream to judge a glitz beauty pageant. And I said, yes. And she goes, well, I'm going to one in St. Louis, and the guy that runs it needs one more judge. Would you be willing to come? I said, are you kidding me? She goes, oh, and you'll get paid. I said, excuse me? I get to judge a glitz beauty pageant, stay in a hotel for a weekend, and I get paid? She was like, yeah, honey, it'll be so much fun, and we'll go out to dinner and all this kind of stuff. Oh, a million thanks. I couldn't get on the phone fast enough and texted my friends and telling them I couldn't come to the reunion. They were so pissed. All these people were like, I can't believe you're not coming to the reunion, and I would never have bought my ticket, and blah, blah, blah. I think my friend Jenny, she's still not upset. She's still not over it to this day, but she can get over it. But anyway, because it was like the finest moment of my entire life. So anyway, I drove to St. Louis and check into this hotel, and there are little girls running everywhere with hair and rollers and bathing suits and stuff like that. I love it. Bathing suits because they're going swimming, not because this wasn't one of those. But anyway, this was a full-on, okay, so let me tell you what it was. It was so awesome. So one day was all natural, okay? So the girls couldn't wear any makeup. They had to be all 100% natural. We did an interview with them. And like one of the things that we were supposed to score on an interview is personality. And it was so funny because there literally were 18-month-olds in this pageant. How do you judge an 18-month-old on beauty? And on, beauty, you can tell. And I remember I said to the woman next to me, I go, well, how do you judge an 18-month-old? And she goes, they'll just do some cute stuff. Their parents teach them some tricks and stuff like that. She was like so serious about it. It was so funny. But we ended up having such a blast that weekend, and I loved it so much, and the hotel was so nice, and we had such a great time. But we would walk in the halls, and these little girls would be like, he's a judge. He's a judge. And then they would see Courtney, and they'd be like, oh, she's so beautiful. They love Courtney so much because she was a pageant winner, and she was like, she was like what they wanted to be. You guys. So the first day was all natural. And the second day was full on glitch, baby. I'm telling you, flippers and the whole 9 yards. And I can remember sitting there when we were doing like the interviews with these girls, and you would get these girls that came in. And I'm not going to say they were homely, okay? But these girls they were maybe the prettiest girl in the classroom, boys and girls. And so I can remember this woman next to me that was kind of teaching me how to, there was literally like 4 of us that were judging this entire pageant, this huge pageant, right? And so there was so these girls would come in and they just weren't that pretty. And this woman next to me, she goes, wait till you see him tomorrow. And I was like, she goes, I know her from a previous pageant. Like she said this about 3 or 4 different girls. I was like, what do you mean? She goes, just wait till you won't even recognize them. You guys want to talk about, now I understand why there's all these YouTube channels talking about makeup tutorials and palettes and all this kind of shit. You want to talk about the power of some makeup, some hair extensions, and flippers. I'm telling you, it took those girls that didn't look like nobody's business and put them into movie star status. If I'm lying, I'm crying, and I ain't crying. These girls were like, they would walk down and do all that kind of shit. I died. I loved it. I was sitting in my chair. I was like, oh my God, I'm like on Tyler's and Tiara's. I love it all day long. I think I gave every one of them a 10. I did. And it was so funny because I didn't really even care. It didn't matter. Like, somebody's got to win the pageant, right? Somebody's got to. And you could tell the clear winners, right? You could tell the ones, and I'm not talking about, this went all the way up to like 17, you guys. There were like 17-year-olds in this pageant. And there were some of these girls that have been doing these pageants since they were like 3 and 4. They were like friends and they did all this kind of stuff. But there was this one girl that she came in, and I mean to tell you, when she sat down and did this interview, no makeup on, I was like, this girl should be Miss Universe. She's gorgeous. Like, hands down gorgeous. And got like a 4.0 and played 2 sports and did community service. So let me just tell you what I learned about this whole pageant system, glitz pageant system over that weekend for everybody that wants to pass judgment on it, okay? One of the things I realized was there were just as many dads there as there were moms there that weekend, which I thought was really, really cool. I'm talking about parents together, siblings, everybody. They came and they did it as a family weekend. Now, not all of them, but a lot of them did, okay? The other thing was that all the kids were so polite. I didn't see one crybaby. I didn't see one kid yell and scream. Now, this is just my experience on one glitz pageant, but But I've judged other pageants, and I haven't seen it ever be like that. You always see the overzealous mom that's like in the background doing the thing, but like not as much as it was back in the day. They're not like that anymore. And I think it's kind of like a dying art form that's dying down. But I want to judge more pageants. If you're out there and you own a pageant or you want somebody as a judge, call me up. I'm ready to judge more pageants. These girls were so sweet. There were like 3 boys that were in it, and they like won everything because in their age division there weren't any other boys. Like one of them was like 2, and he was a little blonde kid and like so cute and like a little suit and tie, and his mom carried him out there, and he of course like everybody cheered and he won everything, right? Because he was the only boy. He knew his gig. He's like these guys on YouTube. He knew what he was doing. Got his gig going on at 2 years old. I wish I'd had my gig going on at 2 years old, but I didn't. But anyway, I was super impressed. I would have gone even if it was the trashiest piece of white trash in the entire world, but it wasn't. I loved it. And the kids and the parents were super polite and very, very nice and very well behaved. And you saw kids in the hallway playing with Barbies while they're getting their makeup done. And it was none of that crying bullshit that you see in those shows. But I was hoping for a little bit of that. So if you know that kind of white trash glitz beauty pageant, invite me. I want to come judge it tomorrow. I want to see the kids screaming. I want to see the moms in the background going, "You better win!" That's what I want so bad. Oh my God. But anyway, I love beauty pageants so much. Love them so much. Do you guys love beauty pageants? What's your favorite beauty pageant in the entire world, and what do you think I should be? Well, Miss Universe, of course. Except for Poopy Dish Fawn. She's probably like Miss Universe. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.